What's going on, guys? Celtic CC here. I'm just in the process of getting some Lost Realms done, and I thought I'd make a video and just tell you about basically when I first started playing Castle Clash. There's quite a few funny stories I got with it. The other thing as well, I'm wondering if anyone wants to comment if they had similar sort of like noob experiences when they first started playing Castle Clash. So basically, my journey with Castle Clash started on the Facebook version. If you're not familiar with the Facebook version, I'm not sure if it's still going now. But basically, it was just designed to be completely on PC, and that's how I found Castle Clash. I was playing a game called Throne Rush on Facebook, and I think Castle Clash got recommended to me because of Throne Rush. I think it came up as a similar game to Throne Rush. So, my initial first impression when I did a raid with Castle Clash was, again, like I was with Throne Rush, a little bit disappointed that you couldn't control the heroes when you put them down. I just remember putting the heroes down and not being able to control them, thinking, oh, it's one of these again, is it? So it's funny thinking back, considering how long I've been playing this game now, that was my first impression, that you couldn't control the heroes. Another funny thing I remember doing was trying to put a slime on the hero base and probably wasting about 5 minutes trying to figure out how to do it. You got to understand, that version of it, there was no instructions. I'm not sure what it's like now if you start new. There's probably quite a few more instructions and stuff, but this was like an old version where it was just like how Castle Clash was. It was just like there was no instructions at all. Like you just sort of like chucked you in, expected you to figure it all out for yourself. So yeah, that was one of the funny things I ended up doing, trying to put a slime on the hero base. What else did I do which was quite funny? I tried applying for a few guilds and I couldn't get into one. Looking back on it, this was to my detriment as well, because I tried applying for a few guilds and I think I applied to low might guilds that I used to search and stuff, and I think it was probably for guilds for people were just for doing boss and stuff like that and weren't really doing it properly, and no one ever accepted me, so I carried on playing without being part of a guild. So I never figured out how to play the game properly, basically, because of this. And some of the stuff I did, I remember watching someone attack my base with one druid, and I was just like, oh wow, I can't wait to get druid, because in that version you used to get druid after a free druid after 30 days. So I had my paladin and my painter, and I had a frost witch and executioner. And I was just leveling up these heroes, and when I finally got a druid, it was the best thing ever, because I suddenly had a hero that could heal people, which was great and all. But I just didn't know how to play the game properly. I was doing things for ages I must have been completing stuff on the quest board and not collecting the books, because I didn't spot that you could pick up books at the bottom. I just never even noticed the books. I was just collecting the things off the quest board, the shards and the gold and the HP and everything. So that was quite a funny thing I did. I also remember as well, I think it was the first time I seen someone who had a Vlad. And you got to understand now, right? I didn't know about rolling for heroes. All my gems were being spent on building upgrades, because I didn't know you could roll for heroes. And I remember attacking a base, someone had a Vlad, seeing Vlad and thinking, oh wow, that hero's awesome. Oh, it must be they give him away free on Halloween. And so instead of actually thinking, oh, maybe I can get this hero somehow, I, I just assumed it had been given away free or something, like some special offer thing, because I just thought the only heroes you could get were the ones you paid for shards. The best one you could buy was Emotep, and before that was Reaper. So it took me ages, it did, leveling up my heroes and everything, and because I wasn't getting the books and everything, and I wasn't actually playing the game all that much, really. I wasn't blown away by it by that point or anything, and I was just doing all these noobish things. I had raiding was just such an epic struggle every time. I'd have to wait till I had full troops, and then I was there raiding my Frostwitch and my Executioner. I think I still had Frostwitch and Executioner on the base, and up until I was about 16,000 might, something like that, and that's quite a high might, that is, for the Facebook version. You didn't have inscriptions and stuff, so it took a while getting to that, especially when you only had 4 or 5 heroes. I used to consume my other druids, never used to open them or check them or anything. I just used to consume them, because I thought you just only needed to have one of each hero. So that was kind of the noobish thing I did. And yeah, I carried on playing on Facebook for a while until eventually I started watching some videos and I decided I wanted to buy a Reaper. So I was saving up shards for a Reaper. And luckily it was just randomly. I think I clicked on an alpha male rolling video. And it must have come up and like recommended on YouTube, and I watched it, and that's when I first realised that you could roll for heroes. And I remember actually at one point, like I must have saved up quite a fair few thousand gems, and I was only ever spending them on building upgrades. And I remember saying, "Who the hell's gonna buy gems? You get given enough for free. Why would anyone spend money on this game? This game must make no money." And I remember actually like saying that out to myself, like, do you know what I mean? And it's funny looking back on it now, considering like I didn't know about rolling for heroes and everything. But thanks to watching that alpha male vid, I figured out that you could roll for heroes, and that's basically when things started turning around a bit. I managed to get a few heroes. I actually like managed to get Vlad. I think Vlad was actually one of the first heroes I rolled that wasn't a shard hero, and it changed the game up for me, and I started getting into it. Then eventually, I then joined a guild called I think they were called Dragon something. But looking back, they weren't a very good guild. I remember like the first time boss came up, and I thought that was like the best thing ever. And playing Torch and everything. And I ended up starting up a second account. I got into the game so much, I could start up a second Facebook account as well. And with that account, I joined a guild called Avalanche. And the rest is history after that. I ended up getting really good at the game, figuring it out and everything. I started rolling like pumpkin jukes and stuff like that. I mean, the last hero they brought out for that when it was updated, the last ever hero they brought out was Pixie. So you didn't have like any of the good heroes you got in here and stuff. And I think that version is starting to get shut down now. I mean, those two accounts unfortunately have been deleted, and I got the gems transferred onto my main accounts on this Android version. And I'm not getting any merchants, am I? Just noticed that. Yeah, so I ended up being made like vice leader, and then eventually leader of Avalanche, and I made the transfer to Android. And yeah, the rest is history now. It's like now I've got I got 4 accounts on Android. I don't play on the Facebook version anymore. I'm running my own guild called Lunatic. I consider myself fairly knowledgeable about the game. I'd consider myself a pro with the game and everything. I've been playing it for quite a few years now. This account I think is 275,000 might, and yeah, so it was just like, it's funny looking back at how I started with the game. And I mean, because at one point I nearly quit playing the game as well. That's got to be noted. I stopped checking in daily and getting my gems all the time. I finally got a merchant. I stopped checking in daily and getting my gems all the time, and I stopped playing it for a while. And looking back on it, I came close to quitting the game, I think. Because I was just finding it too difficult raiding and stuff with my frost switch and my executioner and stuff. Do you know what I mean? So I'm glad I stuck with it, because I'm still enjoying playing this, and there's no other game I played for as long as Castle Clash. Nothing even comes close. The only sort of game I regularly play, you could say, which is like on a par with Castle Clash, is FIFA. I mean, every time they bring out a new one, it's like an update, isn't it? I guess, but yeah, it's just mad thinking, looking back at it, that I nearly came close to quitting, and I stopped collecting my gems daily at one point and stuff. I think also we used to have some problem with the internet as well, so that had something to do with it as well. I couldn't check in every day and stuff, but yeah, it's mad looking back on it. I mean, it's got to be said, if I hadn't found that alpha male video, I probably wouldn't be making Castle Clash YouTube right now. I wouldn't be talking to you right now, and I wouldn't be playing this game on Android right now. So I got to thank alpha male for that, for just making YouTube videos and it catching my eye, and it making me realise you could hire for heroes with gems and stuff, and that's what the gems were for. So yeah, like, if you've got any funny stories when you first started playing, any noobish stories, comment below. I'd like to hear them. I mean, like, I think my noobish start had a lot to do with the fact I wasn't in a guild and I couldn't ask advice and stuff. I had no one telling me, or actually frost switch and executioner are shit heroes, you want to be getting rid of them and rolling your gems and saving your gems up. If someone had told me that, I probably wouldn't have done so many noobish things, because you know, for a long time I wasn't in a guild and was just figuring it out as I went along and not figuring it out very well. So, you know, but we all got to start somewhere, and we're all beginners when we start. So, you know, so yeah, if you got any funny stories, put them in the comments below. And yeah, that's it pretty much. There's nothing else I can think of, which funny stuff I did, I don't think. No, that's about it, I think. Alright then, cheers guys.